Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan wa marhaban bikum. And welcome to the tech show on Salam Media. The show is called TechByte. My name is Faizel Patel. Inshallah, will be in your company until about 20 past 7 this evening. I take this opportunity to welcome all those listening to us on the various channels of Salam Media, also on the social media platforms via Facebook, Twitter, and also YouTube. So we've got a couple of things to discuss in the show today. Remember, if you want to interact with me, you can send me a tweet on at Faizel Patel 143. You can also get me on facebook.com/Faizel Patel. I'm also on Instagram at Faizel Patel 143. And if you want to check out some of the videos that I did reviews for and some of the products that I did reviews for, you can go to my YouTube channel, and that's Faizel Patel. I've been inundated with calls with regards to reviews about the two phones that I've reviewed in the past week or so. That this is the Oppo Reno 7 5G and also the Huawei P50 Pro. So if you want to check out those reviews of those phones, please go to my YouTube channel. And people were asking me about which is the better phone. Well, if you're really stuck on Google and the Play Store, then obviously the Huawei is not going to be of assistance to you. But I must add that there was no issues. I managed to download all the programs that they use. That's WhatsApp and also Facebook, Instagram, and many others. There was no issue. The Gmail I used to access through the web browser, and also the only thing that it didn't have was the Play Store. But Huawei's got its own app gallery where you can get most of the apps. So please check that out. As far as the Reno 7 5G is concerned, a wonderful, wonderful device that is currently available in South Africa. It is also from China, like the Huawei device, but they don't have an issue with China, and you can have access to the Google Play Store or the Oppo Reno 7 5G. I actually gave advice to my cousin yesterday. He wanted to know what phone to buy. Well, if you are in the market for a new phone, I suggest that you go for a phone that is 5G enabled. That means it can connect to 5G. The reason I'm saying this is because at the moment, and last week I mentioned this, is because a lot of the companies, that's the mobile operators, were bidding for spectrum, and they've now won the spectrum. The spectrum auction is over, and some of the big companies got this, including Vodacom, MTN, Cell C, and they're going to be rolling out much more 5G services. And if you don't have a 5G enabled handset, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to take advantage of this. Advantages of 5G: better content, better services, faster streaming, faster going onto the internet. Obviously, it takes a lot more data. Ensure that the contract that you have has enough data. Unfortunately, sometimes these days the phones are heavily subsidized, and you take a very, very weak contract that doesn't give you or enough data or talk time minutes or even SMSs. So make sure that the phone that you take and the contract that you take is sufficient. But 5G is the way to go. Okay, so we are speaking about Apple today, and two topics on Apple, and we're speaking about a very huge find that was done in the past week. That was the discovery of a black hole in our galaxy. But let's start off with Apple. Now, this is a question that I always get all the time, because remember that technology is only usable that if it can be used by people with disabilities as well. And one of the people at the forefront, or the companies at the forefront, is obviously Apple. Well, they've rolling out or going to be rolling out a number of software features that introduce new ways for users with disabilities to navigate, connect, and get the most out of their products. Right? So Apple said the updates combine its latest technologies to deliver unique and customizable tools for users and built on its long-standing commitment to making products that work for everyone. So whether you are hearing impaired or whether you are vision impaired, you can able to use Apple products because the software will allow you to do that. So using advancements across hardware, software, and machine learning, people who are blind or low vision can use the iPhone and iPad to navigate the last few feet to the destination with door detection. So a lot of features. It's a long article, but if you want to read it, you can go to the Citizen website and click on the technology tab and you'll find it there. So users with physical and motor disabilities who may rely on assistive features like voice control and switch control can fully control Apple Watch from their iPhone with Apple Watch mirroring, and the deaf or hard of hearing community can follow live captions on iPhone, iPad, and iMac. So very user friendly, especially for those people who have disabilities. One of the features that they are featuring is called door detection, can help users locate the door upon arriving at the new destination, understand how far they are from it, and describe door attributes, including if it's open or closed, and when it's closed, whether it can be opened by pushing or turning back a knob. So for those that are, sort of sight impaired, this is a wonderful feature. And then physical and motor accessibility for Apple Watch becomes more accessible than ever for people with physical and motor disabilities with the Apple Watch mirroring, which helps users control Apple Watch remotely with their paired iPhone. So a lot of features, but also I must admit, obviously Apple products are quite expensive. And then live captions for the deaf and hard of hearing community. Apple's introducing live caption on iPhone, iPad, and Mac. Users can follow along more easily with any audio content, whether they are on the phone or FaceTime calling, using a video conferencing, social media app, streaming media content, or having a conversation with somebody next to them. So basically, you can have a conversation, you'll know exactly where to navigate. And then there's a whole lot of other additional features. With Buddy Controller, users can ask a care provider or a friend to help them play a game, which is actually quite cool, especially for those that have disabilities. And then Apple also celebrated Global Accessibility Awareness Day, and they're rolling out these features to a number of companies, especially in countries like Australia. As I mentioned, that if you want to read the full story, you can go to the Citizen website at citizen.co.za and click on the technology tab. Now, staying with Apple, and no doubt you are a fan of this, or you probably had one of this, it's an Apple iPod. Now, I've got the mini one, which is a touchscreen one. And well, basically, if you got an Apple iPod, I suggest you hold on to it, because these devices are actually going to become very valuable. So Apple about 2 weeks ago put a word that it's no longer making iPods, the trend-setting MP3 players that transferred how people get music and gave rise to the iPhone. Now, please remember that I'm in no way promoting music. You can download the Quran, which I have, and download Nizams on the iPod, and you can listen to this. I actually have the whole Quran, the whole 30 paras on the iPod that I have, and I can listen to that. I have lectures by Mullah Suleiman Mullah, and I have a whole lot of other surahs by different reciters. So it doesn't necessarily mean for music only, but you can use it for other creative and Quran listening and many others as well. So the late Apple co-founder Steve Jobs introduced the device nearly 21 years ago with his legendary showmanship flair, and the small, easy-to-operate players helped the company revolutionize how music was sold. I'm only saying music because obviously the press release spoke about that. So buying complete albums or vinyl gave away to paying 99 cents at the selected songs. Industry trackers in California-based Apple itself have long acknowledged that the do-it-all iPhone would eat away at the sales of one-trick devices such as iPod MP3 players. So if you got an Apple iPod, I suggest you keep hold of it. It came in different colors. So in addition, the Apple Music subscription service streaming access to more than 90 million songs. Now, the iPod endured despite analysts worried that the release of the iPhone in 2007 would destroy demand, since smartphones provided much more than just digital music. So your phone that you have now at the moment can play music, can play Nizams, can play MP3s, and no doubt you're listening to the Quran on there. So news of the end of the line of the iPod prompted a flurry, sad, nostalgic posts on Twitter. A lot of people commented. Maybe you can share your thoughts and comments about the end of the iPod and let me know what your thoughts and comments are. And finally, coming on to our last story for this week, it has been a very, very exciting week for astronomers and for those people that delve in astronomy. One of those people is me, and I really, really was excited about this. And I don't want to go too much into astronomy. We live in a galaxy called the Milky Way, and there's so much stars, billions and billions of stars, and scientists managed to capture a black hole on the edge of our galaxy. Now, for those that don't know what a black hole is, basically, to put it into simple terms, it's a collapsed star that sucks in all of light and all dust and debris, and it just looks like a void. So scientists seen stars or celestial objects bumping around this void, and that's how they discovered it. Now, to see and to capture this particular black hole, they needed a telescope the size of Earth. Now, you don't get a telescope the size of Earth. So what they did is they took telescopes from across the world, and they then combined these telescopes to create this image, and they took all the images, stitched them together, and they showed this black hole. Now, you don't see the black hole, but you see the activity around it which glows, and that shows you that there is a black hole. So as I mentioned, astronomers have revealed for the first image of the black hole at the center of our galaxy, the Milky Way. The image was produced by, and for those that don't know, Event Horizon Telescope, or EHT. It's a collaboration and international team made up of over 300 scientists on 5 continents, including Africa, not South Africa, but Africa. So black holes were predicted by Albert Einstein's general theory of relativity over a century ago. There are regions of space so dense that nothing, including light, can escape. As I mentioned, light gets sucked into it. Their boundary is known as event horizon, which makes the point of no return. That's just one of the reasons these objects are hidden from our eyes. You can't see it with a naked eye. So it's like basically looking for a donut on the moon. That's how small it is because it's so far away. The other is that they are exceedingly small, as I mentioned, when placed in their cosmic context. If our Milky Way galaxy were the size of a soccer field, it's a black hole event horizon would be 1,000,000 times smaller than a pinprick at the center field. That's how small it is. So there's a lot of information on the black hole. Please do check it out and go onto YouTube and have a look at this black hole. It is an absolutely amazing image. Now, all the elements are in place for a dramatic increase in the number of young Africans who participate in this new era of black hole imaging and precision tests of gravity. In the coming years, we hope to provide writing about findings that could have been made without the technology on South African soil. So South Africa is also at the forefront of space frontiers. I spoke to SENSA the other day, the South African National Space Agency. We had a lunar eclipse in South Africa, so that was quite exciting. And then, so a lot of information. But at the end of the day, you must remember all these things. And thus, I want to end the show with this. Everything that we see in space and around us, whether it's the plants, the planets, the sun, the moon, everything is controlled only by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whether we like it or not, and scientists can come out with their own theories, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala controls everything in the sky, the planets. And remember, this is just one aspect of what we are seeing, that there are 7 other heavens that is above this particular one. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the master of the day of judgment. He makes everything and he's in control of everything. So he knows more about the space and universe. He created it. So the scientists are only discovering things now when some of these things are actually already written in the Quran more than 1400 years ago, and when Nabi Sallallahu was the Quran was revealed to him. So, but again, it's very fascinating. We should continue reading the Quran because there's so much discovery to be made, and we are seeing some of the discoveries that mentioned in the Quran now scientists are only beginning to discover it right now. So that brings us almost to the end towards the end of the show. Remember that Eskom is load shedding at the moment. They sent out a press release earlier this evening that they stage 2 load shedding from this evening 8 o'clock until the rest of the week, unless the system changes. There might be more generation capacity loss or less generation capacity loss, and they will decrease the load shedding. Inshallah, I hope that happens. But remember that load shedding, and I spoke about this, dear listeners, load shedding is a long-term problem that Eskom is facing. And no doubt you are burning candles and you're burning diesel in the generators. And now with winter coming, we've seen what's happening in KZN with the floods. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for the people of KZN, inshallah. A lot of people's homes once again destroyed. But with winter coming on, remember that if it's load shedding, you're not going to have electricity. You need to keep yourselves warm. Get yourself a gas heater. 9 kilogram gas canister cost you around 290 Rand. But also I spoke about the inverter, and a lot of people have queried about the inverter. This is a wonderful, wonderful product. It manages to keep your lights on, obviously, albeit until the load shedding is subsided, but it's better than a generator because is less pollutive and also lasts better. So if you want to check out the YouTube of that inverter, for that one that I have in my setup, and you're welcome to ask me any questions, check out my YouTube channel at Faizel Patel. The title of that YouTube video is called My Solution to Load Shedding. And if you've got any questions related to that, inshallah, you can then direct it to me. Anyway, that concludes the program. Please remember, you can interact with me by sending me a mail on Faizel831@gmail.com. You can also get me on Twitter at Faizel Patel143, on Instagram at Faizel Patel143, on Facebook.com/Faizel Patel. And remember that YouTube channel that I was talking about. You go to YouTube and search for Faizel Patel. You will see all my reviews there, all the videos that I've done there. It's not only necessarily tech related, but I have other videos as well. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also like some of the videos. It is very difficult to be a YouTuber in South Africa, and it's only with your support, inshallah, that I can grow this channel to even greater heights. So from myself, Faizel Patel, and my engineer for this evening, Sadiq, please do take care of yourself and each other. It's a new week this week. And remember to stay safe, remember to stay warm, and remember the Ummah in your du'as. Fi amanillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.